Does it look awkward? Maybe it does. We live with some gender perception towards color. When we take examples of boys and girls' toys and clothes, it gets clearer. Nowadays, more and more come in various colors. Still, pink is for girls, blue for boys. The term pink started to be used in 17th centuries and blue in 13th centuries. Before dye got generalized, dye was so expensive and rare, so usually kids wore white clothes. But as dyeing technique developed and dye got cheaper, boys dressed in pink and girls in blue. Now it's already against our common sense. Even in India, pink is thought to mean calmness, harmony, and tradition, in place of navy in other countries. Also, Korean officials of a high rank in the past wore pink garbs. In the past, pink was considered to be a weaker version of red, and originally red was for men. It's because red represented energy and activity, thus man, and blue represented delicacy, calmness, and elegance, thus woman. So pink was rather considered to represent boys. Pink was just suited for active and energetic, but still immature boys. Surprisingly, though it was just contrary to what it is nowadays, since the past, colors already have been gender specific. So when did pink start to represent womanness? It was since 1940s and 1950s, though still far from being established. In US 1953, President Eisenhower's inauguration is considered to be a threshold of a woman pink perception. In inauguration, the First Lady, Mamie Eisenhower, dressed in pink, which strongly impressed people with woman in pink image. This perception intensified with some neuroscience report. The report said people instinctively prefer colors in accordance with their gender. But the report and news about this report was misleading. First, the research was conducted for adults, already socialized about their gender. Second, press gave a false information about this report. Press ignored that people preferred blue and bluish colors, regardless of gender, but focused on the result that women preferred red-violet colors. Historian and author of Pink and Blue, Telling the Girls from the Boys in America, Joel B. Paoletti said, this bias got established in 1980s when people could identify gender of their baby during pregnancy. Market focused on developing gender-specific products for parents who want to give presents for their unborn baby. Pink for girls and blue for boys. So pink and blue colors, what we have not given much thought to, has socially created meanings. People just take it for granted that what color is suited for which gender, regardless of whether that gender prejudice has logical grounds or not. Some reports talk about the effect of being in rooms in specific colors. For example, blue room makes people calm, red, aggressive. One report says pink painted jails actually reduced prisoners' aggression. Then some might think color preference is formed by biological factors, but it's still ambiguous. Pink color cells made inmates less aggressive at first, but later, it was reported that pink brought about irritation and strong protest. It's because prisoners felt tired watching pink, a strong color, and thought pink symbolizes homosexuality. Thus, pink cells that were originally intended to help control aggressive prisoners actually rather pissed them off. And many reports about color effect have contradictory results. So insist that color bias is because of biological color perception has no or little grounds. Human is social animal. There could possibly no 100% biological perception about the world. Just looking back 10 or 20 years ago reminds us just how different our fashion and beauty standard was. One researcher says children before age 2 have no clear preference towards specific colors, but after age 2, children becomes gender explorer. They realize their gender and try to conform to gender stereotype, and they show pink girl and blue boy preference more and more. If we just want to say color preference is because of 100% biological factors, the research should have found that children before age 2 similarly had color bias. And a chimpanzee male, a similar species to us, would be very angry when someone gave him a pink shirt. And also, it's been not so long since pink woman bias was formed. Unless woman brains biologically evolved to prefer pink within less than 100-year period. While we even fail to discard our hunter-gatherer era instincts, we have to admit that color prejudice is nothing but social shackles that confine our reason and creativity.